Okay, so this another hypothesis for the movement of stomata was uh, this Mallet potassium ion hypothesis given by Levitt. So according to this, as a result of uh, this photosynthesis or uh, uptake of hydrogen ions by chloroplast or mitochondria, pH of the uh, guard cells reduces. This reduced pH leads to the formation of organic acid and ultimately into the formation of uh, phosphoenol pyruvate, which is converted into malate. So malate, when it breaks to produce hydrogen ions, and hydrogen ions are transported outside in return for potassium ions. So hydrogen ions goes outside, potassium goes inside, and this increases the osmotic pressure of uh, cells, this guard cells, and which leads to the entry of water into the guard cell, increase in turgor pressure, and opening of stomata. So this was the uh, uh, this was the second hypothesis, which is more accepted for the opening and closing of stomata. Now, last topic is two topics left are micronutrients and macronutrients and uh, growth. So the plants have, let us deal with growth first. Plants have mostly indeterminate growth. One is determinate growth, one is indeterminate. Indeterminate means they keep on growing. Uh, so plants grow through the apical meristem. So it is called shoot apical meristem, auxiliary apical meristem, and root apical meristem. Uh, Animals have determinate, in contrast, determinate growth. Uh, for example, they can grow up to a certain height only. Plants also have determinist growth after achieving certain height. They no longer grow, but that certain height is achieved in a long time. Until that time, they show indeterminate growth. And if based on the uh, how they grow, it can be called it can be divided into two types. One is arithmetic growth, another is geometric growth. So in arithmetic growth, the arithmetic growth, the formula is LT is equal to L naught plus RT. So uh, uh, for example, this kind of growth is found in a root and shoot elongated uh, in a constant rate. So this tip of the root or tip of the shoot is elongated at a constant rate. So that kind of growth is arithmetic growth and can be written with uh, LT means final length. If it is we are considering length, then L naught plus RT. R means rate of growth, T is time. L naught means initial length. If we are discussing about length, it could be any character. WT is equal to W. Uh, hmm, if we are considering only tip, WT is equal to W naught plus RT. So this is arithmetic growth. It is also called linear growth. Another one is called uh, geometric growth. So that kind of growth uh, is shown by most of the parts of the plant, like stem, leaf, So there it can be written in the formula Wt is equal to W naught E RT, E raised to power RT. So E is logarithmic base. So in geometric growth it is like from 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16, like that. But in arithmetic growth it is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, like that. So the geometric growth is first. Similar to geometric growth, there is sigmoidal growth where there is three phases: lag phase, log phase, and saturation or maturation phase. So growth can also be written in the percentage. For example, a leaf of small size, uh, from 5 centimeter it becomes 10 centimeter, it is 100% growth. But a leaf of the increase is only 5 centimeter square, so a leaf of 100 centimeter square becomes 105 centimeter square. That is only 5% growth. So uh, in this way, then it is good to write in the percentage form. If we are measuring growth in weight or another is absolute growth. We check what is the actual increase in weight. So one we can write that there is 10% increase in the weight, or we can write it is 100 kg increase in weight. So it is absolute growth. So how growth is measured? Oxo, uh, Axonometer is there, which can measure the growth. Then this is also two type. One is um, arc axonometer or lever axonometer. Another is horizontal microscope, which is also used to measure the growth. Now, different phases of growth. Growth can be divided in plant growth can be divided into three phases: formative phase, or it is also called cell formation or cell division phase. Second is cell enlargement phase, and third is maturation or differentiation phase. As you see in the root also, there is zone of uh, meristematic activity or zone of cell formation, then zone of elongation, then zone of maturation. In the zone of maturation or differentiation only, the root hairs arises. And after that, in the mature, when the roots become highly mature, the root hair falls down. So what is differences? Differences means initially all the plant cells are similar type. They uh, differentiate to get specific function. Some become epidermal cells, some become cortex cells, some become root hair cells, like that. So root apical meristem is there, and in that there is quiescent center is there, which does not grow, but which has cells which will divide, which even do not divide. The outer quiescent center meristematic cells, then outer meristematic cell. Those outer meristematic cells will divide. So only a few cells are. So growth is regulated by different kind of hormone: auxin, cytokinin, gibberellin, and abscisic acid. So this chapter is complete. Next, we will discuss about the macro. In this chapter, macro and micronutrients. Macronutrients are um, this NPK, sulfur, calcium. So NPK are most important macronutrient. Sometimes people include calcium also, sulfur also, but they can also be classified into micronutrients. Micronutrients are these zinc, zinc, manganese, chloride. Then we have iron. Uh, some plants also require sodium. Some plants require nickel. So all these are micronutrients. Macronutrients are required by the plants in huge amount, and they mostly influence the plant growth because micronutrients are mostly available in the plant, as in the soil in sufficient amount. So usually there is no deficiency of micronutrients in the soil. Soil growth, plant growth is mostly affected by presence of macronutrients, which are NPK. N is nitrogen, P is phosphorus, and K is potassium. Calcium is also required by the plants in very high amount, and as well as magnesium and iron. So, uh, so this micronutrients in milligram amounts. So, what are the functions of these? Nitrogen is taken up by the plants mostly in nitrate form from the soil, nitrate or sometimes a little bit of nitrite and ammonia. They cannot take nitrogen gas. So nitrogen has nitrogen gas has to be fixed into the soil to be converted into these available forms, and those available form can be absorbed by the roots. So this macronutrients, uh, what is the function of nitrogen? So nitrogen is building block of all the proteins. It is present in ATP. Uh, it is there present in nucleotides, which are the building blocks of RNA and DNA. It is also present in these hormones, cofactors, uh, and other uh, other chemicals present in the plant. So it is very essential for the plant. Now, second important material is phosphorus and potassium. Potassium, as we just discussed in the previous topic, that it maintains the osmotic balance. Potassium uh, so uh, potass is uh, potassium is used to maintain the ionic balance. It is it helps in the activity of many enzymes. And next, uh, phosphate is present in ATP, and it also help in the regulation of enzyme by uh, phosphorylation and dephosphorylation activity. So those kinase enzyme and phosphatase enzymes, mm, they regulate the addition of phosphate group or removal of phosphate group to a protein, which changes their conformation and activate or deactivates them. So phosphorus is also present in this DNA, RNA, as in the nucleotides. In the energy molecules like NADPH2 and ATP, it is present. So it is also a major nutrient required by the plants. Next is sulfur. Sulfur is sulfur helps in the mobilization, in the absorption of sugars. It helps in the conversion of metabolites, different metabolites. It is present in cysteine and methane in these molecules. Uh, so it is present in proteins, and sulfur is present in photosynthetic system. FES cluster is there. So sulfate is also uh, absorbed by the plants in high amount. Next is uh, calcium. Calcium acts as a signaling molecule. ACP, CAMP, ACP, acyl carrier protein. Uh, so calcium ions are acting as second messengers. There are many proteins which regulate the activity of, which very stringently regulate the concentration of calcium inside the cell, because it can lead to a signal and expression of many genes, expression or shutting down of many genes. So calcium is also present in cell wall, and calcium deficiency causes this blossom end rot or end rot, uh, bottom end rot in the many fruits like tomato and capsicum. So next, micronutrients. If we see iron, iron is present in many enzymes. It helps in the photosynthetic activity. Uh, in FES clusters, it is part of catalase, and some like SOD are there. Iron SOD is there. So iron is also very important. It helps in the formation of chlorophyll molecule. Seroheme is there, a pigment which is similar to chlorophyll, but instead of magnesium, it has iron in the center of the tetrapyral ring. Then we have boron. Boron helps in the sugar transport and thus helping the growth and development of plant portions. Then we have nickel. Nickel is only uh, needed by only a few plants like chickpea. It is present in urease enzyme. Chloride is helps in osmotic balance. Also, usually sufficient amount is present in the water itself, so no need of chloride addition. Magnesium is also activate the many enzymes and present in chlorophyll. Manganese also activates some enzymes. So mostly we have discussed all the macronutrients and micronutrients. So this completes this chapter. Thank you, Radha.